What's up, peoples? It's Gendo here, and a little bit of a pre-show today because, of course, we need to do the CONCACAF group stage draw, which will determine one of our opponents in today's live comm. So, as you remember, it's 8 groups of 3, and the winner from these group stages, and only the winner, moves on into the knockout stage. Pot 1, as you can see, is only American and Mexican teams, so let's just draw those right out of the bat since we're in Pot 1. And right off the bat, we're in Group A, which means that we have the pick of the litter, basically, of everybody else in Pot 2 and Pot 3 when those pots come up. So let's just take a look and see. We have Municipal from Guatemala. Don't know much about them, but Guatemala are not technically a traditionally strong footballing nation, so we can consider ourselves lucky there. And then as far as what's coming out of Pot 3, we get Police United from Belize. So once again, I feel this is an easy group draw. We should be able to walk this and move into the quarterfinals as everyone else is coming through. And just taking a look at some of the MLS teams we got in here. We have New York in a group with Saprissa, one of the best teams in Costa Rica, and Walter Ferretti. Just looking down the groups, and we have New York Red Bulls taking on Firpo and Comunicaciones. They should come out of that. But one thing definitely of note, Colorado and Montreal Impact in a group together, which means that we won't have a potential 5 MLS team coming out of this group stage. It's like Thunderdome down there. 2-man enter, 1-man leave. Basically, which MLS team is going to be the better of the two. Honestly, don't know. It would be interesting to see what that development is, but it's very unfortunate we can only have 4 teams max out of the MLS going into the knockout stages. But that's something to think about and watch for in the near future. So I'm just going to continue on with a couple of matches to get ourselves through to the next episode, and I'll catch you on the other side of this intro. Hello there, welcome back, and now we can get into today's matches, which of course are Toronto FC and the Champions League group stage first match, which is against Municipal. But before we get into that, we gotta take a look and see how we've been faring in the league thus far, as well as report on a couple of trades and injuries. Hey, look who decided to reconsider retirement until the proper season is over. Thank you, Bastion. Thank you for being smart. Another good thing is we are no longer under a transfer embargo because we were under takeover talks. Andrew Hauptman no longer owning the Chicago Fire. As you can see, Aaron Warren, some regen-based guy, has taken over and bought the club. And what kind of money is he going to be bringing into the club? The amount of money available for transfers is now $22 million. Taking a look at the funds beforehand, we were only sitting at 5.5. So we had money to go in and make some transfers if we wanted to bring some international talent in, but that $5.5 million has bumped up to $22 million, so good on for the new owner. Now we can bring in some prime DPs if the space on the roster allows it. So with that takeover, our $18 million has skyrocketed up to $42 million, and our wage budget has ballooned to $37 million. So like I said, if we want to bring in 3 high-paid designated players at this point in time, we could, because we have the salary to do it. We have the funds available to do so. So if I wanted to move on Akam and bring in somebody else that was a very high-paid winger, like if I wanted to bring in someone like a Memphis Depay, let's just throw that out there. If Memphis Depay somehow wanted to come to the MLS, we would have the ability to pay all of his wages. So it's good for us. It gives us a lot of options in this upcoming transfer window as well as in the winter to reload for next season. So since our last double live con, which seems ages ago, almost 2 months to be exact, we had gone off on another little shaky run to start, but we came away with 13 points in 6 matches, 4 wins, a draw, and a loss. Let's take a look at some of the results. LA Galaxy 1-0, Pedro Ferrer getting the goal there. In the Open Cup 4th round, we did in fact beat Minnesota United, but it wasn't without a little bit of a struggle. 3-2, but they started coming back in the end, getting a goal in stoppage time, but we were able to see it out. But that led to us taking on Atlanta United in the 5th round, where we came away empty-handed. We didn't even score a single goal. All 3 goals, the one own goal included, were scored by Atlanta United, and we were knocked out once again in the U.S. Open Cup. I'm going to win it one of these days. And we came back into the league between those 2 U.S. Open Cup matches. We came away with a draw and a win versus NYCFC and Philadelphia, respectively. Boring draw versus NYC, but a solid 2-0 against Philadelphia. Common Delu getting goals there. But then back in the league, we came away with our next loss, 1-0 against Atlanta. Of course, Atlanta just cannot stop beating us, and it didn't help that Brandon Vincent got himself a red card in this match, which basically stopped any sort of attack that we had in its tracks. But we followed that up in the next 2 weeks by then getting wins back-to-back. And I said that in more words than I should have. 2-0 versus Columbus, 3-2 versus New York, and we're back on track. So that run form sees us in the same positions as we were 2 months ago. We're still top of the Eastern Conference by 5 points over Toronto, and we're still second in the Supporter Shield, this time now by 4 points behind Portland. Which does mean this match is going to have a little bit of intensity to it. We are starting to come down to the final bits of the MLS season, 10-11 matches to go, where every win matters, every point counts. And in order to get every point and make every point count, we need to have a fully fit squad, which we currently do not have. We have 5 players, as you can see, on the injury list. Vincent Guarin, Ramos Schweinsteiger, and Mike Grella. Mike Grella was a big one because I need to have depth on that wing side. All I have is Molino and Akam, and if Grella was out, I had to rely on those two, which I didn't really like, and it's never been a situation that I liked. So I went out and did something about it. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Arturo Salceda, a 19-year-old right mid that we picked up from New York City FC for that second-round pick from Toronto that we got for the Matt Polster trade. And to be quite honest with you, he is a steal. That giving up that second-round pick was a steal to bring in this nice, fine youngster. As you can take a look right now, physically and in the pace, he is outstanding. A 15 pace, 14 acceleration. Mentally, he's only 19. He can grow from there. Technically, still developing as well, but in the spaces that he needs it, absolutely phenomenal. 12 crossing, 12 dribbling, 10 first touch, 11 technique. And like I said, this guy's only 19. He can only go up from here. So like I said, only a second round pick for this kid. Absolute bargain. And he's going to flourish with us for a long time. So now let's take a look at the team sheet for today's match versus Toronto FC, and obviously a lot of changes due to the amount of injuries we had. This is how we're going to see it out. Johnson and Net, Kappelhoff, Opara, Mera, and Chris Hall along the back line today. Raf Garcia taking the DM spot because of the Schweinsteiger and Guarin injuries, pushing Ferreira up to the middle where he'll be sitting alongside Mix. Molino and Akama on the wings and Delu sitting up top, even though Christian Ramirez has been the better hand on the day. I'm going to go with Delu to start today because he is due for a goal, and if he doesn't score, I got Christian Ramirez on the bench, and I know that he can deliver. So let's go kick off. Let's go see what happens. Cross fingers and hope for the best, and all the other adages that I say in the past. Let's go get the 3 points. Fire and Toronto are starting to get themselves into a little bit of a rivalry. It seems to be that we're always fighting for the top of the Eastern Conference, and we know how good Toronto is, but now that the Fire have come up to try and dethrone them, they might be getting a little jealous of our success. And also, once again, Toronto is playing down the middle, so I'm going to try and utilize the wings as much as possible. Mix taking a shot. Oh, so close. Just on the outside of the bar. Not a bad crack, though. Immediately following that pass highlight, it's Molino taking a shot, but Clint Irwin right there to make the save for Toronto. Toronto coming through with an attack. They have not had a single shot on target just yet, but it's a good takeaway from Mix, and now we can hit him on a break. Delu gets around defender, puts it inside to Mix. Can't really find anybody that's clear, so he gets out to Kappelhoff, back inside to Mix, to Akam, to Molino. It's a pinball, it's a cluster is what it is, but Chicago Fire come away with a goal and get the 1-0 lead. I mean, this ball was just trying to find its way through. It took a bounce off of a couple of Fire players and then a couple Toronto players before reaching Molino, and he calmly puts it into the back of the net. We got ourselves a nice lead. And a well-deserved lead at that. I mean, we've been putting all the attacks forward. Toronto haven't found a way to break through. Corner kick, Molino puts it inside to Delu. It falls to Garcia. A red shirt. He lays it off to Ferreira. Smartly didn't take the shot himself. Ferreira had a wider open shot. Let's take a look again in the three-dimensional replay. Garcia, he had 2 men in his face if he would have turned around, so he calmly laid it off to Ferreira, found a keyhole to put that through, and the Fire have a 2-0 lead. Well, that makes my halftime talk so much easier. I'm not going to say much of anything. Just go back out there. I'm really pleased with how everything's coming together. And let's go see this match out. So because of the midfield crisis that we have coming up for the next 3 weeks in... Oh my god, I was about to talk about John Pizdrowski, the rookie, coming on, but that's overshadowed now by Toronto FC getting a goal and getting back into this match. I mean, I was going to talk up how Pizdrowski was a very solid player when he was sitting down in his lone spell, and as a defensive mid, he would have been doing well here, but that goes completely out the window as Toronto FC go around Pzdrowski to get that goal. Welcome to the big leagues, Rook. Get your head on a swivel and get out there and do something. Just about 10 minutes left to go in this match. Toronto coming through once again. Bradley taking a shot, but it's cleared away. There's so many Toronto shirts around the players on our wings. They realize now that we are doing very well utilizing this wing play as they are trying to place predominantly down the middle, this tri-headed attack down the middle. And I think they're starting to break us down. What a good save from Johnson. Bradley taking a shot from the top of the box and prevents the equalizing goal. This is going to be squeaky bum time all the way down to the wire. What a great tackle in the open field from Molino. He's one-on-one with the keeper. He gets around him, and the Fire are up 3-1. This match is on ice with 5 minutes to go. Toronto is not coming back and getting 2 goals, but that was a great open field tackle from Molino. Caught the goalkeeper off his line, one-on-one. Opts to go for the near post. I wouldn't have done that, but Molino, he's obviously a lot smarter than me, knows how to put the ball into the back of the nets, and we got this match in hand now. And the referee blows his full time. It's 3-1 to Chicago on the day. Not a bad debut for the Rook and Pzdrowski, but obviously could have done a lot better not allowing that goal to go through him to give Toronto their first goal and their only goal on the day. But other than that, a good win nonetheless. 3 points on the board and pushes us further up the table in the Supporter Shield. And now that's confirmed that we're just 1 point back of Portland now in the Supporter Shield, let's turn our attention to the first match in our CONCACAF group stage, which, spoiler alert, should be a bit easy. And this is something I didn't want to see Kevin Molino with a thigh strain. He picked that up right after he scored his goal. He celebrated too hard, essentially, and he strained his thigh. So he's going to be out for the next 3 to 5 weeks, but that means that's going to give Salceda a chance. A calm on the left side, Salceda on the right. Hopefully the 19-year-old youngster can prove me right in thinking that he was worth a pickup. All right, and now it's time for the first match in this Champions League group stage. We're taking on Municipal away from home, and there's going to be a lot of squad rotation because, well, number one, we need form and fitness, and number two, I feel like this is an easy team that doesn't matter who we put out there. We should come away with a victory. So this is the lineup. We're going to have Jesus sitting in net today. Kapelhoff, Opara, Salinas, and Cartwright are going to be the back line. We're going to have Ferreira, Guarin, and Diskerud as the midfield trio just to have a little bit of familiarity. And then sitting up in front of them, we're going to have Akam on the left, Salceda on the right, and Christian Ramirez sitting up top. So hopefully the back line doesn't get challenged too much. And if they do get challenged, they perform and live up to the task. It looks like coming out in a 4-4-1-1. That should really do the job for us. As we see ourselves coming through now in the 3rd minute, what can we do here? Ramirez out to Guarin, to Kapelhoff on the wing as the white shirts bomb forward. Christian Ramirez to Akam, lays it back to Mix. I mean, it's just as simple as that. Akam really tried to force the issue with that short angle shot smartly on the second time, giving it back to Mix, and it's 1-0 to the Fire. That being said, highlight directly from the kickoff, Municipal coming forward. Oh, forget that, Guarin just taking it directly off of him, but then they take it right back off of us. I mean, Municipal, give credit to them being such a really weak side. They're putting up some harsh fight, and just like that, they equalize from the kickoff. Well, this is definitely going to be a barn burner of a game now, isn't it? 4.5 minutes gone and already 2 goals scored. Like I said, the defense is the big issue on this. Maybe I should have put in a little bit more familiarity, a little bit more veteran leadership. Corner kick, Guarin already on a yellow card, not doing much, and then Kapelhoff having to stay back. Really should have done well to challenge that. Does in fact get it back. And now can we actually get him on an attack this time? Salceda to Ramirez. Akam 1-2s it. Oh, doesn't even matter. Akam into the upper 90. David Akam getting the Fire back into the lead 2-1. I want to see this on the 3-dimensional replay. Was it in the upper Benjamins? Let's take a look at this. Oh, what a great strike. Just past the outstretched keeper's arm, and the Fire retained the lead. I mean, who in their right mind would say upper Benjamins anyway? Throttling the ball into the 6-yard box, but just cannot get a good breakthrough. Kapelhoff to Akam. There we go. Akam with a brace. and it's 3-1 to the Fire. Now we're starting to feel it. We're not letting this small Guatemalan side get the better of us today. So Satis on his debut, not particularly overwhelming, but he's not doing so bad either. 6.7 average rating. Going to keep him out there for the time being. Other than that, everyone else, I'm very pleased with how you're doing. You're finally coming into form, boys. Now for the next 45, let's score a couple more. Let's put this out of reach. And we may do just that. 1 minute to the half. Kappelhoff taking it past the defender. And Johan Kappelhoff with his first goal of the season, the center back, who's playing on the right side this time, makes it 4-1 to the Fire. Let's take a look at this. How did Kappelhoff get so wide open? I mean, what a great first touch to take that around the defender, leaving him wide open, ton of space, puts it into the far post, and just like that, now I think this match is out of reach. The rookie Pizdrowski is coming in for Freddie Guarin, who was on a yellow card, but what in the hell was that? Does not even matter. What a belter from 20 yards out. Municipal get themselves a second goal. I honestly don't know what to make of that. I mean, I guess the defense was all swarming around him, but the guy who just had a crack. He said, F it, I'll take a shot. Why not? You're leaving me a bunch of space. And the referee's going to blow for full time. The hosts get 2, but Chicago Fire get 4, and it sees us with a win in the first match of our group stage. We start off very solidly, and pretty much is something that we should expect to win. We should expect to get 4 wins in this group stage to get through undefeated. It did start out a little bit shaky, not going to lie, but in the end, it all turned out very well for us. So Satis didn't do very well on his debut, 6.7. He ended with that rating, but he's young. He's still getting used to the formation, the players, the tactics, etc. So I'm not going to fault him for too much. He is going to get better. I know he's going to get better. Now, obviously, we're going to be playing the second group match in the CONCACAF Champions League next episode, but before that, we'll be taking on the Montreal Impact, so hope to see you then. This concludes this episode, so I'd like to thank you all very much for watching this episode. If you like what you saw, go ahead and drop it a like. It lets me know that you are still interested in the series, and of course, subscribe if you are new. Any comments, suggestions, questions, anything else at all, please leave in the comment box below. But as always, guys, this is Gendo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out.